welcome back to the channel, guys, and the 245 once again. So yeah, I've done a little bit of work off camera because sanding and trying to film it takes forever. So I'm sorry, you don't need to see me sand loads of stuff down and make like 12 passes at stuff. Where we're up to right now is I'm just putting a little bit of stopper in a few areas. So the scuttle, I've not really focused too much on the bit you don't see. So it's one of them, I really don't care because the rubber comes up to there. I just need to focus on this bit. I haven't gone mad with this like vent grill bit because again, the rest of the car, I want it to have a few divots in it and a few marks, otherwise it's just gonna look a bit weird with the rest of it. So I've actually gone ahead and worked this a little bit more. It's not gonna be perfect. It's been repaired like, you know, in the best way I can. I'm not going to turn around and say I'm professional because I'm definitely not. But I'm a lot better, a lot happier with it now. So I'm going to get a bit more filler primer and we can go from there. Just working with sandpapers, I've got quite a lot on the shelf and I don't really want to buy any more right now. So I'm working with what I've got, just try and get the sanding scratches out and then building up some primer. The little marks in the roof, I've done a few of them, but I've left a few because, you know, it's one of them things. So there looks like there's a lot of primer on the roof, but there really isn't. It's just where the real scabs were, I've got rid of the bits. So I'll take you for a quick walk round. Yeah, like mentioned, I've just gone over it again. So I've gone over it with 240s, the filler parts. And then I've done 400s and they're working on 600s. Hopefully get some filler primer on that now and then we can flat that again. On the roof, again, the roof's got a little bit of a kink in it, little mark, but my roof rack covers it. And in my eyes, again, I've got to try and make it look like this hasn't been done for now. Now, for you guys that don't like patina, it's quite against the grain, and don't get me wrong, it's against the grain for me. It's kind of making it look less crap, but crap. I don't really know how to put it, but there's still, this car isn't going to be a restored car. It's going to have it's you know, it's lumps and bumps and stuff. So I've kind of gone where the real scabs were. I got the little kind of indentations where the rust was. Obviously it's been treated and stuff like that. And we're just going to flat them back now. Then we're going to dust it with a bit of grey primer. And then the idea is seeing how the roof is over there. I can just get you over. So where the sun has actually burnt through the paint. I love that patina on the car. And basically where I've repaired, I want to create that again. So it looks like the sun's burnt through there, burnt through there, burnt through there, not that there was big rust scabs. So that's kind of my game plan. So thank you very much for everyone that watched the last video. It's gone down quite well. I'm putting out slightly longer videos because I'm here a little bit more now. So I want them to be a bit more in depth and a little bit more like content for you. So they do take me a few days to make and then obviously quite a few hours to edit. But I love it. I feel like we're getting more content out for you guys. So in this episode, I want all of this red, that should be red. And I need to tackle the rear repairs. So the rear butt cheeks, as they call them, the lower quarter panels, whatever you want to call them, they've both got like holes all through them. So I'm just going to make a piece. I'm not going to buy anything, I'm just going to make a piece. So we'll get into that. I don't know how much of it I'm going to literally film. I might just cut you in for a few bits and pieces because as you can see, there's a Volvo Amazon very, very tight up to it. And I'm struggling for space as it is. But that's the M2 game. So thank you very much. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and give this video a thumbs up if you would. I'd love for you to do that, please. Yeah, right, I'm gonna crack on. then true YouTuber magic, we're back in primer again. So, like mentioned, I'm probably going to sand through quite a lot of this. Not a lot of it, but I want to make it look like it's not there. I don't know how well the colour's going to match either. It's the correct colour code and stuff, but you know, the car is so weathered and aged, hence why we're going to do a clear coat. But I'm much happier with this repair. Like mentioned, the rubber covers over that seam, so I don't really see it, but it's much better. Really is much better. So still wet, hence the reflection off there, but yeah, profile's pretty much bogged on, and it will do. It will do. I'm not doing it again. It's the 4th time I've gone back to it. It can stay. It can stay. Right, next point of call is I'm probably going to try and get on with these back repairs. I'll try and just catch little bits of it for you guys, because like I say, look at the gap I've got, probably about 2 foot to work in. So I'm going to try and move the car a little bit forward. But yeah, we should be good. Catch you in a bit. Them rear quarters are now repaired. All I've done is make a bit of steel up. I'll be honest, I'm not the best at work. But it's solid, it's not even structural, do you know what I mean? It is just the lower parts of the tyre wells. So I've now tack cloths off, degreased, scotched up everywhere that's got grey on it now, basically, the easy way to explain it. And now I've got the correct paint colour, which is Volvo Wine Red. So that's the code off the chassis number. I'm using Paints for You again. I've used them before when I did the Clubmans to get the teal blue and the glacier white mix. So I've got my little nifty thing that just makes it a bit easier to hold. And we're just going to do a drop coat. And then, yeah, I don't know if it's going to be the right colour. I'm going to have to hope. It's going to be it now. So like I say, this isn't a restoration, so I've just got to stay with it. Obviously I'll do the same at the back one, because I've just basically skimmed that with a bit of filler now. Now I've put the repairs in, you know, welded it up. I've just skimmed that with filler, so we won't get that done in this. Well, we probably get it done in this episode, but not today for me. 2 seconds for you after this. So let's lay some red on. Let's do it. Been shaking this for 10 minutes, so let's get on with it. Why does painting red for me always go wrong? The nozzle's boggered on it. Not impressed. Normally these are really good cans. I'm gonna keep going. Hopefully get no drips. It's really quite weird to paint a car not kind of worrying how it looks, if that makes any sense. Now, it's technically the right colour, but obviously the roof's quite faded. So, you know when I said on the roof that I was going to sand it through, but all I've done is basically just dust it on. Because we're going to clear coat the whole car. So you can see where the colour is a bit richer in places and then not. But I have focused on the scuttle quite a bit, because obviously that's our repair. And I think we've saved that for another day. It's not perfect, but I'm quite digging this don't have to be perfect, because we're going to cover it with clear coat kind of look. Be interesting to see how it matches with the wings and stuff when I take all the masking off. But that's for another day. We're going to go home. But yeah, I've done what I can. I've stabilised what rust I can find. I've got rid of what I can get rid of. The back's repaired. That's just letting some filler go off, and then we can flat that. I've got enough paint to do that, and then in theory 2 tins would have been enough for what we wanted to do. And then I think I've decided some satin clear coat, I think. It'll give it the tired look, but obviously protect everything. So yeah, next point of call is get all this masking off. I've got to paint the top of the dash, the metal bit, black, which I probably should have done first, but we'll do that. Yeah, it is what it is, because all this is going to get scotched back again to get clear coat on. So I'm quite happy with it. So let's have a little gander. So remember, there was a massive hole in the roof. Well, I say massive, I'm exaggerating massively though. Massively. So there's not one of them anymore. And like I say, I feathered in the paint, and then we're going to clear coat the whole thing. So I'm quite happy with the fact that there's no, obviously we've dealt with the rust. The scuttle was the biggest job because we want to put the windscreen in. But yeah, same story this side. Same story this side, just feathered it all along. And yeah, obviously that's our repair. Again, not perfect, but I think you can agree that now you can see it in colour. I didn't do too bad a job shaping it. So, but yeah, I mean, from the camera it looks good, but look, there's like a bit of a sheen to it, but it is a direct gloss colour. It's what would have been on the car. So obviously, again, we're going to sand it, so I'm not too bothered. Right, I think that's a lot of the work done on this car now. We need to demask it, deal with the rest of the patina, so get it how I want it basically, and then yeah, set about probably clear coating it first, I think, before we put the windscreen in, because it's pointless otherwise. You're going to be mucking around. You might as well get some lacquer on the seam as well. Right, catch you back in a bit, guys. I don't know how much more I get done in this episode. We'll probably just finish the repairs at the back and then demask it, and then yeah, next episode will hopefully be clear coating it, which will just be loads of Scotch pads and then masking off the car, because we're not taking it apart. I'm not taking anything off. Might take the grille off, that's about it. Everything else just getting masked off. It's a mask and blast. Let's get this car back outside. Well, we're saving it. I'm happy, we're saving it. So this is the next day, and we've let the paint kind of go off. Like I say, I've feathered it kind of into the roof. It's been done with a rattle can, and like I say, I've purposely kind of left some of the primer showing, and I'm just going to lightly sand this now to just reveal any high spots, so it kind of matches that. If you're into good paint, this will make no sense to you, because this is definitely isn't good paint. You can see all the defects under the paint. Yeah, I'm not massively happy with it, but like I say, you can kind of get away with it with this car because it really don't matter. So one day it might get a full restoration, but right now I'm not sure when that'll be. Right now it needs to get a screen in it, get it running, and enjoy it. So yeah, it's all one colour, that's what matters. The colour match, obviously the roof is so sun damaged, but we're going to clear coat the whole car to match that. So you can see here, look, where the primer's all started to show, and you can kind of see the same sort of thing on there. Well, I hope you can. Yeah, it'll look better once I get all this sheeting off and we'll make a plan. But yeah, it's not done too bad, is it? So it's done what it needed to do. Like I say, it does look really good on camera, but when you get up close, you can see, you still can see marks under the. I hate sanding filler. It's horrible. It's a horrible job. That's why there's professionals out there that do that paintwork side of things, because it's not for me, that. I'd love to get better at it. I've got to. I can't afford to pay someone to paint my Amazon, so I've got to get better at it. It's one of them things, isn't it? Yeah, we do. It'll look better when I start blending it. So we'll do that. As you can see, we ticked quite a lot off there. We got rid of all the welding jobs, we got all the brake lines gone, that was done in the previous episode. So all we've got left now is to get it running again, torque the wheels up, because obviously they've been on off a few times, service the engine, so oil filters, blah blah, double check the lights again, because we did have one light out, I think it's non-plate light, so we'll check all them. Cooling, so obviously plumb all the radiator and the pipes in, windscreen, so fit the new one, clutch slave cylinder, and then set the tracking. Now, there probably will be a few other jobs that I'll add on to it, but like right now, clear coat the car, that needs to go on there. But it's getting smaller, we're getting there. We're going to drive this car soon, I know it. I want to drive it out of here, preferably. So yeah, best get cracking. Right, so for this next section of the video, please look away if you're really not into patina cars, because it's probably not going to be for you. But we've got this, it's small hole in the boot. Now we have a whole new boot for the car. I say new boot, a better boot. It still needs work and welding, but it's a better boot. Came with it in the I think it's the right colour, but it won't have patinaed the same way as the car. I'm going to save that for the pure and simple fact that if I ever get the chance to do this car like a full nice resto, then I'd like to use that boot lid for that, really, instead of stripping all this one down, risk damaging maybe the window or breaking a lock or something like that now where I can't use the car. I'd much prefer to save that, keep it in the bank, because they don't make them. Do you know what I mean? They don't make them anymore. And I think we should just rock this one for a little while because it matches the car. So it has got this hole, which we can't really leave. So what we're going to do, what I've got there, and I'm holding it with my other hand, is a rusty piece of metal underneath. So no more hole. So fix is fixed, isn't it? Surely to be God. And then we'll try and make it blend. So we're going to glue that in and go for that. So I can't take credit for that. I've seen that on quite a few American car channels where they're retaining patina and they put that in. To be honest, a lot of people do it and then fill it over and paint the car, and that just fills me with the, ugh, shouldn't do that. I'm not trying to make this look better. I'm just trying to get rid of the hole so I don't get water into my boot. What I'm going to do is seal it in with some like Bond, hold a bit of wood up and just leave it overnight. And then I'm going to try and make the rest of the metal that's there match it, and then we're obviously going to clear coat it. It is purely just to retain the look of the car, and like I say, to bridge the hole basically. It's not a repair, so very different to what I normally do, but I'm really enjoying this car because it is different to what I normally do. So if I just move that piece of metal on the boot lid here, for argument's sake, you can see where the paint has burnt through. I don't know if that's picking up very well. So you can see the primer. So I haven't done that. That's kind of what's happened there, but then I have done this bit and it kind of matches. So I'm just having to play around with stuff, and look at them struts working. And just playing with new skills, really, mucking around. It's fun, it's good fun. So yeah. Also, shall we remove this? Because obviously it doesn't say GB anymore. Or shall we leave it and maybe put another sticker on it or something? I don't know. Drop in the comments before we clear coat the car. You can see now where I've like let that panel in underneath, and some of the sealer has like popped through. So I've got a pot of rust. This is from the cylinder head of the Amazon. Yeah. So you know where this is going. While this is damp, we're just gonna get some on the brush and just nib it on to the sealant, basically. And see how we get on with that. Be interesting to see how many of you are still watching. So yeah, just dust that on. Put too much, that's where my mind's going, because once it's dried and I tip the boot lid back over, whatever's loose will just fall off the boot. So, but this lets you have the look you want, in theory. But still having the, I mean, it is extreme, and I've always said in my videos, never throw anything away. Yeah, don't keep pots of rust. I mean, that's not really ideal, but I did. This, for some reason, became a thing. All the rust that came out of the cylinder head of the Amazon got put in a pot. So as you can see from that, you can't see any of the sealant now. So obviously it's a lighter rust, but when it's all painted and clear coated, it will match, and obviously I'll dust off whatever's loose. So I'll flip you around to the other side, and I've just put two little pieces in over there. So I'll move you over in a sec. Right, so I will admit, that's gone quite well. So there's a little bit of dust here that's on the rubber, but obviously it is just dust. Like, I can just brush it off, and I'll wipe it off in the morning. But you can't actually tell where the two pieces of metal are. Yeah, so that's just a tip. I just suddenly stood there and thought, I don't really like how that's looking with the sealant coming through. What can we do with that? I know. I don't know if it's going to work. Obviously, I'm not saying this is fix this boot. It literally hasn't, has it? I've put a rusty piece of metal onto a rusty boot lid. None of it's treated, but this car's going to be on the road hopefully for a good few years with a clear coat. So the atmosphere can get to it less, but it will still rust. There's rust in there, isn't there? So I'm not trying to say that I'm fixing this. I'm really not. I'm just trying to keep the look with a boot lid, like I mentioned. But yeah, it is what it is. That'll do, I think. So we'll dust that off in the morning, and then we'll go from there. Back in for an update, and I've started to work with this a little bit. So like I've said, the paint I've purposely dusted to the roof to match the rest. And what I've started to do is just feather it a little bit, just so it doesn't look so obvious that this area has been painted. So we've just burnt through a little bit to the primer, again a little bit there, and then I'm working to kind of where the roof rack would be. So I've done a little bit more there, and obviously once this is all like scotched, the whole thing, I mean it's covered in dust now, the car, it will kind of start to blend. So stay with me guys, stay with me. It will match the rest of this. Down here, this repair has been done again. There's lumps, there's bumps in it, but this arch is a little bit dented and the tyre well's a little bit dented, so I've kind of made it again look like it was there, like a historic repair, so to speak. Much the same on the other side. God, Henry, you're always in my way. Damn you, man. All right, over we go. And then over here, exactly the same on there. So I obviously will blow them in to match. But it's one of them. So this is, I haven't done this bit. This is kind of already the worn bit. So we'll start doing the same here a little bit, just with like a really light sandpaper. Just start to bring out some of the highlighted edges a little bit. Probably do a little bit across the top, like where something's been put on, you know, just where the sun's damaged it. And then what I will do is go a little bit harder in areas, try and create that again. Because there was like a little area of it here and stuff like that. So we'll work with it. I'm going to do the same on the scuttle. Probably won't get that done today, but obviously when we get into the actual painting of the car, the colour match isn't awful, to be fair. I mean, this is very faded. If I polished this back up again, it wouldn't be that far away, but I'm going to like just pick up on a few of the higher spots, so like the edges of the wing there, maybe where it's rubbed, and a few of these little vent veins, little things like that. I'm not going to go mad. We just want it to look like that's not shiny, and yeah. You know what I'm saying, don't you? So I think that's going to be it for this episode. It's not really been as productive as the last one. I mean, it has on my part, but not really much for me to film for you guys, because it's just loads of sanding. And that's no fun really, is it, sanding? Definitely isn't for me anyway. But that's the last of it now. We've just got to dust some paint on that the back quarter panels, and we're going to call it that. Again, we'll burn through at some of the higher and lower spots, try and blend it, and go from there. But I'm really enjoying this, so I hope you guys are. It's a little bit different. It's obviously like the Amazon. I mean, people keep telling me to leave the Amazon the same and just lack of that, but the Amazon I do think I want it really nice, white, red leather, and go from there. I want it to be nice and premium looking, the Amazon. This can be my plaything. I'm mucking around, so that's the idea. Anyway, so a few different techniques tried. I've learned quite a lot doing this video. We've obviously saved the scuttle, which is the main thing, and we're going to now try and make it look like none of this work was ever done. So we'll continue to do that. So the next episode will be probably scotching the car back, feathering in a bit more bits, just try and make it look like it's all been done, finishing off the tailgate, and also we're going to get it running as well. So whichever order that happens in, I don't know. We might potentially get it running so it's ready to drive out the unit, then we can mask off the unit, quickly hit it with some lacquer, and then it can go straight outside then and be enjoyed. So yeah, thank you very much. Remember to check out our sponsors if you're here for the Classic Minis. There's a discount code in the link description below for Minimine. And yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. We've just passed 13,000 subscribers, which is mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. But we want to keep going, we want to get these views up. So keep sharing the videos around, guys. Keep liking these videos, because it's a massive help. It's a massive boost, so I'm glad you're really enjoying this car, because I bloody love it. Catch you soon.